Welcome back to Smoky Ribs. I'm Russ Jones. In today's video, I'm going to smoke a 12.5-pound turkey on my camp shelf woodwind pellet grill. We're going to get started right after this.
If you wanna cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Russ Jones Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs. Smoky
Now, as you can see, I've had this turkey in a brine overnight. I'm going to take and remove this from the brine. I'll tell you here in a minute exactly what I added to this brine. First, we're going to get this over to the cutting board. We're going to dry it out with some paper towels. All right, we're going to go breast side up on this. And the first thing I notice is this little thing here. We don't need that. All right, so in this brine, I started off with 2 gallons of water. And then I took a pot, I don't know how much water, probably 1/3 of a gallon. And into that, I added 1.5 cups of salt, 2 cups of brown sugar. I added some, like 2 tablespoons of peppercorn, tablespoon of allspice, tablespoon of thyme, tablespoon of sage. You can really put anything you want in that. And basically what a brine does is, you know, a lot of these come pre-injected from the turkey farms or whatever. They inject like a injection in those to make them more juicier. That carries a certain amount of sodium. So when you lower that into that brine, first thing happens, all the salt and that water and everything else that makes up the brine will actually extract what's inside this turkey. And then it goes back in, but along with it, it puts all that sodium and all the seasonings into the meat. So you're basically seasoning your meat, plus it will retain a lot more moisture as it's cooking through this process. So with that being said, a lot of people will brine a turkey as well as chicken to make it a more juicier bird, and that's exactly what we done. So you want to take some paper towels and pat your bird dry, get as much moisture off of that skin as you can. We're going to be rubbing oil on this skin prior to putting a seasoning, and that's going to help the brining of this bird. So you really want it just as dry as you can get it. You're going to have water coming out of the cavity as you see here. And this could take a little while because you're going to have to keep coming in here and extracting this water. You're not going to get it all, just get the bulk of it. All right, I'm going in with a seasoning. This is an all-purpose seasoning that goes good with poultry, pork, beef. Use whatever you like, whatever your favorite is. Now I'm going to take onions and we're going to stuff that way up into this bird. I've got some celery. Now this is going to help flavor this bird, but also what it does is it fills up this void, which is going to help give it more even cooking. A lot of people put apples, they'll cut up apples and put in here along with onions. You can put whatever you like. You can put some fresh herbs in here like some thyme, rosemary, just whatever you want. I'm going to keep it more on a savory side. We're just doing celery and onions. Now also on this neck end, I'm going to push a couple of onions up in here. There again, that's going to help retain some of that moisture. Now I'm going to take some butcher's twine. Nothing hard about this, just some simple knots. Cut off the excess. We're looking good. All right, now I'm going to take some oil and we're going to coat this skin on this bird. This is actually an olive oil. You can use a higher temp oil such as a canola. You can use grapeseed oil, just whatever. This pit's not going to be hot enough to even worry about burning this olive oil. We're going to be smoking this at 300 degrees, somewhere between 275 and 300. The 300 will actually give it a better bite through on the skin. So that's why I'm going with a little bit higher temp on this. And I attempt to rub some here on the back as well. And now we're going to season the outside. We're going on with the same seasoning that we used on the inside. You don't want it super heavy. As I've already mentioned, the brine in itself has already added salt, pepper, other herbs, and spices into this bird. All right, now I'm going to take his wings and we're going to fold them in behind the bird. That way they won't just be flopping out in the open, and it's going to help stop from burning the tips. Now also give us a chance to apply some rub on top of these as well. All right, that's looking good. Follow me over here to the smoker and we're going to put this bird on. By the way, the pellet grill is up to 300 exactly. Anybody knows anything about pellet grills, you got to swing in these. These will be fluctuating. So I'm going to grab it without disturbing this rub as much as possible. We're going to go on just like this. I've just installed 3 probes to monitor the temps of this turkey. I've got 1 and 2 deep into the thigh, 1 and 2 the breast, and I've got a third just sitting here monitoring the pit temp. And actually, you don't have to do that as far as this one goes. This is a pellet smoker. It's going to run where you have it set, but I do like to monitor those. I've showed this a few times here on my channel. This is the Maverick XR50, and this is the remote for it. 500-foot range on this, and what this shows is what this shows. But what I really like about this particular thermometer, it holds up to 4 probes, and you don't have to flip through the different probes. It shows you all of them right here on the front. You got one at 260 degrees. That would be the one I put there on the grate. Now it's cooled off some for me having the lid open. You got 61 internal on one and 54 internal on the other. I don't think I mentioned it, but I am using apple pellets on this turkey. That should pair very well. Now let me show you what I've done to this woodwind. Yesterday I put this attachment on here. I had the sear box that came with it. This right here is referred to as the sidekick, and this thing is bad. Let me tell you, this right here is nothing more but a gas stove, if you would. And matter of fact, I will probably use this later on in today's cook to make a gravy. But I'm going to pop that up, and this has other attachments. One of them is a griddle, a heavy-duty griddle that just pops into here. It's got a catch bucket right here for your grease, and it's a perfect size for me and my wife. I mean, we don't need nothing bigger than that. In addition to that, it has a grill stove that has a lid, and it turns it into a grill, a gas grill. And in addition to that, it also has an artisan type oven that you can do pizzas in, or breads, or whatever in. Very cool product. The sear box, it will still be used. I actually, like I said, removed it. It's going down to our sailboat, and that's going to be a gas grill for our sailboat. We've been going about an hour and 45 minutes, close to 2 hours. And I'm already starting to get some color on this. And as you can see, that skin is starting to get a little dry. And what's going to add nicer color to this is put another layer of oil on here. Now on my temperature, I'm reading 124 in the breast, 135 in the thigh. And that's about right. Normally your thigh meat will run about 10 degrees higher than what your breast does, give or take a few degrees. Ooh, that turkey's looking good. All right, we're gonna take our Maverick instant read. Let's go on down in there. 164.3.1. I'm getting ready to pull this off. We're gonna put it in the pan. We're gonna tint this and let the carryover heat do whatever it's gonna do. Let the juices redistribute, and we'll be carving into this bad boy here real soon. All right, let's go ahead and carefully remove this turkey. There we go. Ooh, look at the juice running out of that. Ooh, that smells good. So as I mentioned earlier, there's carryover heat in any meat that you cook in an oven and a grill, which means the temperature will continue to climb even more than what it is now, which we are at a completely safe temperature range right now. All right, so you might be wondering, why do you have to rest meat? Everybody says rest your meat for at least 10, 15 minutes. Well, in this case, this turkey is big, a lot of volume. It's actually gonna rest more like 30 minutes minimum. And I've got a lot of foil on here. It's piping hot. And what happens is, as meat heats up, it pushes the moisture outward, okay, towards the skin and whatnot, and kind of dries out the center by allowing this to cool somewhat. I don't mean completely cold, just get cooler than what it is. Then those juices start redistributing back into the center of the turkey. And that's what it's all about, whether it's a steak, which only takes 5 minutes to rest. In this case, a turkey, like I said, minimum 30 minutes. It's still gonna be plenty warm. There'll still be steam coming from this. But that's basically it in a nutshell. I'm gonna take this turkey, gonna bring it inside where it's a little bit warmer to where I want it, we'll allow it to cool down slower. Not as cool as it is out here. Right now we're in like the 50s, and I don't want this turkey to cool down that rapid. Turkey's in there resting. I decided to go ahead and mix up some giblet gravy. And speaking of giblet gravy, do you call it giblet gravy or giblet gravy? I've heard both. Which is the right way? Leave it in the comments. Thanksgiving is not here. This turkey is not for Thanksgiving. This is showing you how to smoke a great turkey on a pellet grill. And I'm telling you, I haven't cut into it yet, but I'm thinking this has turned out very well. And what this gravy is going to be utilized in is a sandwich. Believe it or not, we're going to be making a sandwich at the end of all this. And it's going to incorporate this gravy along with some cranberry, some gelled cranberry mayo. It's going to have the turkey with melted provolone on some artisan bread. It's going to be killer, and that's what I love doing with turkey, leftover turkey. We'll be back. Turkey has been resting at least 45 minutes. You can feel of it. It's still nice and warm. It's not piping hot. It's perfect in my opinion. All right, let's unwrap this. Ooh, look at that. So we're going to take, oh yeah. Oh man, it's cutting good. Nice and moist turkey. It's still very warm. You can see steam coming off this. It's very moist. You don't see juices running out of it, but believe me, it's moist. Let's cut in just for kicks and grins. Let's do a leg here. Look at that. Man, it's just coming right off. All right, let's do a wing. Well, there again, it's just coming right off. All right, there's the other half of that wing. And so, and I'm bad about this. I always assume people know, but not everybody knows. But you see how you see that pink around here and the pink around there? A lot of people see these smoked birds and they think, oh, it's not cooked enough, it's raw. Believe me, that is not raw. That is typical of any smoked poultry. I don't care if it's chicken, I don't care if it's turkey, I don't care if it's quail, pheasant, whatever. If you apply smoke to it, it's a smoke ring is actually what you're looking at. And it's completely normal. I'm telling you, the meat could be falling off the bone so tender, and you would still have that pinkish color around certain areas. Not so much in the breast, but in the dark meat especially. All right, so let's cut down this side. What I'm getting ready to do is cut me a few little smaller pieces like this. It's got a nice skin on it. I'm gonna make a turkey sandwich. All right, so I guess now is the time to do that. Well, this takes me all the way back to the beginning of this video when I told you how brine really, once it pulls everything out of the turkey and puts it back in the turkey, it adds all that flavoring to the turkey. I'm telling you, that had just a little ridge of skin, and this is so full of flavor, very moist. All right, we're going to top one piece of this bread. By the way, this is a toasted French brioche. And what you're seeing here is a combination of 50% mayonnaise and 50% cranberry, whole cranberry sauce. Put this in your blender, mix it together. You talk about good. We're going to take some of this turkey meat. Some of that nice skin. One more piece here. All right, now some of this giblet gravy, and that's the way we say it, giblet gravy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got 2 pieces of provolone. This is going back into the broiler. Be right back. So I just melted the provolone on top of this. We're going to put a cap on this. Here we go. Sandwiches, right? I mean, it's not Thanksgiving yet. I did this turkey, like I said, to show you how to smoke a turkey on a pellet grill. Fantastic results, good and juicy, and that's from that brining process. If you don't do that, or at least add a pan of water or something in there, inject it, then you're going to end up more likely with a dry turkey. Not the case here. Good smoke content. The smoke on there was really good, and a pellet smoker on poultry is excellent, so you know. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some ideas from it. Thanksgiving hadn't even got here yet. We go all out for Thanksgiving, not necessarily on video, but we do a lot of cooking. Everything from pecan pie to ambrosia, turkey, ham. You got your sweet potato casserole, just all sorts of things. And maybe one day I'll put all that together on a video for you, but for now, turkey's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, smoke your ribs.